Before going into the details of Joule's experiment, let me tell you something about the laws of thermodynamics in general. All the laws of thermodynamics are based on the logical inferences which are drawn by the experimental observations. So here the key word is experimental observations. Let me highlight it. There is no mathematical proof for any of the laws of thermodynamics. They are based on the actual phenomenon which occur inside the nature, and that's why they are called as the laws of nature also. So the first law of thermodynamics that we are going to discuss is based on also the experiment, the well-known experiment which is performed by the famous scientist James Prescott Joule in 19th century. So this Joule's experiment actually forms the basis of the first law of thermodynamics. Now, in addition to this, the Joule's experiment has three more significances. The first significance is that it gives you the definition of change of energy in general. Now, energy is defined in different branches of science like kinetic energy, potential energy. Their formula is also known to us. But the holistic or general definition of change of energy can be obtained with the help of Joule's experiment. Second significance is that a new type of energy itself, other than kinetic energy and potential energy, can be identified with the help of Joule's experiment. And the third and the most important significance of the Joule's experiment is that it gives you the correct definition of heat transfer. Why I am saying correct definition of heat transfer? Because many times heat transfer is defined in a little bit vague manner. For example, while defining the heat transfer, let me write over here. We say that heat transfer is defined as the energy which gets transferred from high temperature body to low temperature body. This is the most popular definition of the heat transfer. But there is a problem in this definition that we mention temperature while defining heat transfer. So for defining heat transfer, we are mentioning here temperature. So you may ask that what is wrong in defining mentioning temperature while defining heat transfer. There is nothing wrong, but when the temperature itself is defined, it is defined like this. It is the property of the substance which changes due to heat transfer. So for defining heat transfer, we take the help of temperature, and for defining temperature, we resort to heat transfer. This is the problem. So it forms a definition which is called as cyclic definition. And while building fundamental science like thermodynamics, the cyclic definitions, these are not allowed. Now, if you do the proper scientific analysis of Joule's experiment, you can define the heat transfer without mentioning temperature also. And that's what we are going to do next.